clear through it. So, fun times. Fun times. All right. So we're going to move on to the next boss, which is Harjatan. Harjatan, the Swedish Naga boss, right? I'm pretty sure it's Swedish or Danish or something. So Harjatan is the sort of big Naga dude, whatever he is. Was trained from birth to demolish his enemies. He's a Naga dude with Murloc friends. Let's go through his abilities here. All right. So again, this is Harjatan here. It's one big dude tanked off to the side here. He spawns lots of ads. This is your sort of first multi-target encounter that you'll want to switch between ads fairly quickly, dot him up, that kind of stuff. He spawns different Murlocs here, the Wave Menders, the Gladiators, the Taskmasters, all those fun guys. There's also pools going toward the raid here. If you guys remember Nathendra, same kind of mechanic as Nathendra, but this time it is frost pools. You want to minimize how many frost pools you're getting, put them in good spots, otherwise people are going to get run over and take lots of damage. So lots of avoidable things, and again, it comes down to, this is one of a great fight to showcase the rules of raiding, which is stand in the right spot, drop these in a good spot, how you're going to overlap them, and then kill ads. And once you do those two things right, then the boss is super easy, because he's basically a training dummy. So we'll go through different abilities here. The biggest one here, well, one of the biggest ones, is his Unchecked Rage. So let's pull it up here for you guys. So his Unchecked Rage, he does this at 100 Rage, or 100 Energy, and he has a Frontal Cone. So it needs to be split between the players, right? Otherwise the tank is going to die. We tested this boss, and it was really buggy, but the tank basically gets one shot if you don't split this. So similar to Guarm, where you guys remember the big dog boss in ToV? You had him facing sideways, and when he did the breath, you face him toward the raid. Same kind of thing here. You'll face him away from the raid, and when he's doing his Unchecked Rage, or about to get 100 energy, you see here he is at 95, then you'll flip the boss forward onto the raid, and everybody's going to split the damage. Here it comes, 100, there. And so it does quite a bit of damage. I think one person missed it there. I'm not sure how it's going to interact with immunities. I don't know. Like, if you bubble, does it count, or does it absorb the damage? It depends. Sometimes the mechanics have actually split them. And here again, can it be immune? Well, it likely can be immune, but then does it count towards the actual total, right? So if, let's say, it does 1,000,000 damage, let's give you random numbers. If it does 1,000,000 damage split between 10 people in the raid, so every person takes 100,000 damage, right? Well, if I immune it, do I immune and absorb the 100,000, or does everybody else take more, the other 9 people left over? And the other flip side of that is, it needs to hit 5 targets, right? Or else he's going to enrage, similar to Guarm. If Guarm did not hit a person with his color thing, then he got stronger because you didn't do the mechanic properly. You tried to avoid it. So we'll see. I mean, does the tank count as a 5th person? Again, we'll see through a lot of testing. We didn't get a ton of testing through those bosses to check those things, but we'll see. So, yeah, there's that ability. The other ability is let me pull it up here. The Commanding Roar. So this is the other sort of really, really big one. Commanding Roar. Let's pull it up here. So Commanding Roar looks like this. You'll see him spawn. He basically does a big horn. He spawns lots of little ads. He spawns, I believe, 2 on normal, 3 on heroic. It's a little bit harder to see here. Actually, more of them. There's different ads. The one is the Gladiator. Again, you can, for the most part, try to stack these up. The one Gladiator will fixate somebody. So the Gladiators fixate any player. It slows their movement, and then they have a cleave. Potentially, Freedom will work to increase their move speed. I wasn't there to test this boss, unfortunately, or at least that mechanic specifically. But yeah, you need to run off by yourself, kite him while you're ranged players, while everybody else sort of deals with him. A fair amount of HP as well. You may just want to have the person run to X, right? So here, I believe they had people run to X, maybe. Or run behind. And you can see the Gladiator is the one that is not casting there. I mean, they cleave it down pretty easily here on this difficulty. This is either heroic or normal. Yeah, that's the Wave Mender. The Wave Menders are the other ones. They need to be DPS'd first. So in terms of DPS priority, You'll want to kill the wave menders first every single time. You'll want to kill the gladiators and the taskmasters as well. Taskmasters essentially buff everybody else. You want to tank them away. So this is what your off tank is doing essentially. They're going to tank the taskmasters away. Let's do we have? No, we don't have a video of those ones. So you want to tank the taskmasters away because they're going to buff the boss. They're going to buff the ads. And just they're not a huge priority. The other ones are. The wave menders are a huge priority because these little pools of shit, right? Those little pools of shit, they are casting on your players. They drop water on players. The longer it takes to kill wave menders. There's the gladiator here. The longer it takes to kill wave menders, the more pools you're going to have. The more pools you have, the more you have to dodge, the more damage you take, and the stronger the boss gets. Here's a gladiator, for instance. He's going to fixate somebody. Which person does he fixate there? Yeah, they're running them right to the boss. You can see the person there was right to the front left of the boss. Again, gladiator fixates a random player. They gain a damage increase. Make sure you blow them up. Gladiators will be a priority too. I think you'll be able to heal through most of it or pop a cooldown on the person, but those wave menders for most guilds will be a priority because of all the circles they're dropping. So fun times. Bring them all in. I mean, this is more of a stacked encounter, which is great for you resto shamans, you healers out there. There'll be very little spread. And, it's good to have that kind of variety in terms of spread, stack, spread, different types of fights. But it's good. The next ability is the draw in. You're going to see this here in a sec. So this is the draw in ability. So similar to Nethendra, right? Very similar. He's going to pull everything in. If you're standing in the pools while he pulls them in, you're going to take that frost damage. You can also see here, there are ads up there. There are ads under the boss. Wave menders, and you can see the person running out here with the puddles. Don't drop them on your friends. You can see here as well, it's going to drop one and then pull one in as well. So you want to minimize how many pools go out. You can see here he has 9 stacks of these frigid blows. For every... Again, it all synergizes really well with the boss. For every pool that he picks up, he gains a stack of these frigid blows. Basically, he's sucking up all these puddles, then he's shooting them back at the players in terms of raid-wide damage. So you want to minimize your puddles in order to minimize damage taken, right? And again, Pride is going to be amazing for soaking these kinds of things. It's going to help out. Here's the frigid blows. Well, I guess you can see it here. Each melee will deal frost damage to the entire raid and spawn a pool of drenching waters on a random player. Right? So it's going to spawn more pools. And eventually, I mean, this can act as a bit of a soften rage here. You can see every time he attacks the tank, it does a raid-wide damage. This is where you're going to want to hit your raid cooldowns, your tranks, your commandings, all that stuff. You're likely going to want to be spread here because he's dropping the pools. You can see little white swirls. That's where the pools are coming. And there's one coming here by the orange marker. There you go. And how many was that? That was 9, 10. Let's go back here a second. You can see them spawning. And that's a really good overlap there. So the player decided to overlap them, and again, that's how you want to maximize your space. So depending on your strats, you may want to have them in different sections and running them around the boss. Rather, like when it sucks in, like you don't want to have it go over your raid. So for instance, a really bad spot to drop these pools would be where this paladin is right now, because it's going to go right through the entire raid, which is stacked right behind Harjatan's ass. You can see here, they have one at red, they have some at orange. Well, those ones are going to go around the main stack group point when they get sucked in, right? And the players can also shift themselves out to where the Murlocs are, and they're still dealing with all this crap. So while your melee are killing the wave menders, you're dropping these puddles as healers and ranged. And what else? And then again, on Mythic, there's new mechanics, but we're not going to go over them. There's different tadpoles, things like that. But that's it in a nutshell. Make sure you guys kill the wave menders priority. Interrupt their watery splash, right? The thing that they're casting right there. Let's go back for a second here. So same thing. Let's go back. Right, they're going to die here. There, you can see them casting their watery splashes. Interrupt it every single time that you can. This should be your main target. Again, it's a good cleave multi-target fight. Blow these things up as much as you can. Did I say Mistweavers? Wave Menders, whatever. Right? Oh, Taskmaster was removed? Oh, fantastic. Sorry, I'm going through my notes, which were pre 7.2.5. So let's clarify that. There is no more Taskmaster. Thank you. There is no more Taskmaster that was removed. That's too bad. We're just dealing with warriors and gladiators then. Oh well. I mean, that was a boring mechanic anyway. Thanks for correcting me. Yeah, no more Taskmasters. So it is just the Wave Menders and Gladiators, right? Wave Menders are what you're interrupting here. Drenched, Aqueous Burst, Water Splash, you're interrupting this. Hopefully still interruptible. And then the Gladiators, you know, they're going to be their fixate. They drench everything as well, and they cleave. So you don't want to stack this person in your raid because they're going to get cleaved. So, there we go. Perfect. Yeah, it was too easy cheese by just running it out and dealing with shit, so there was no more Taskmaster. We'll move that away from my notes as well. Yeah, all these notes were prior to the 7.25 patch. There we go. Anyway, so that's it for Harjatan. Good cleave fight for you guys. Again, lots of movement, good puddle dropping, that kind of stuff. But it was good. It's a good fight. It's, you know, it's sort of what's needed. Moving on. Actually, what questions we have here? Can the Murlocs be stunned to Proxifus? I have no idea. No idea. I wasn't there for mythic testing. But yeah, they removed the extra spawns at 66 and 33, so it's just when he does his commanding roar. Good. Some of these are good changes. I'm glad we're here to beta test.